Rory Mal and Julian are all taking shots at each other, and it's happening on each of their podcasts, and they're getting insanely personal, and this breakup has went all the way left. So for those of you that don't know, Julian was fired from the Rory and Mal podcast around the end of 2024 in December, and ever since then, all parties have been at odds, going on their respective spaces, literally on Twitter spaces, and talking about what happened. Well, as of now, both sides have went on their podcast and addressed the situation in different ways. And here's what Rory and Mal had to say.
Oh, I'm always laugh. They want me to laugh. Though you don't want me to do nothing but laugh.
First of all, your laughing emoji is my version of Spaces.
What else am I going to do? I'm going to start going back and forth with these nondescript. I'm not doing that. No. You get caught up in this cycle of, he said, she said, and he responded, she responded, and they responded to the respawn and this podcast. Yeah, but I don't think that's what this is supposed to be though. I just think it's kind of corny and kind of played out to have these back and forths on platforms and that. It's like we know the situation. I know that, sometimes public perception can be, twisted and altered a little bit by people saying things. But so what? Even if we go out and do a 2-hour spaces and talk about everything, there's still gonna be people that still believe whatever they want to believe.
Of course, you're rarely changing anyone's mind.
You're not changing. So why would I waste my time? Everything that I said was gonna happen come to fruition and play out the way.
Some flowers there for sure.
I just love seeing that. That's why I was laughing.
And as you can see, Mal is essentially just saying, I'm not gonna address it. But if you kind of do the signs, it seems like Mal doesn't like that Rory is going on spaces to talk about the situation, because he's saying things like, why would I do 2-hour spaces? And you know who's doing 2-hour spaces about the subject? Rory. Rory is going on spaces talking about the situation with Julian. I ain't mad at it. Keep joining those spaces, buddy. But Julian was not a shrinking violet himself, as he would send shots at Rory, because Rory was really critical about Julian appearing on stages with Joe Budden, saying that, hey man, you were taking shots about Joe's domestic violence cases, and then you're on stage with him. And Julian would go on his pod and say, well, you did a whole podcast with him, so you're a bit hypocritical. He would say that right here.
And I wanted to direct this next part to Rory. You sat next to him for years, him meeting Joe. And back then, we knew all that we know now. And I'm alluding to the DV and all the stuff that you have also said you believe is true. But for $40,000 a month, that's kind of where it ended. Like, you were making that kind of money, and the expectation wasn't the same. So then I thought, okay, well, was it because the show was too entertaining? Or was being number one an excuse for Joe's alleged abhorrent behavior? And it's tough because it looks like I'm being held to a different standard than you were.
So as you can see, these things are getting insanely personal. I don't think none of these guys are cool anymore. I mean, Rory did try to do the whole, I am cool with Julian, but now the gloves are coming off. And by gloves are coming off, I mean the passive-aggressive barbs are being exchanged. It was funny that Julian was the one that was the most direct, but Rory was the most direct on spaces. And even Mal's being a little bit passive-aggressive. He's tweeting the time-honored laughing emoji whenever Julian does something. One time he tweeted the laughing emoji when Julian appeared on MySpace to address the breakup. And then he tweeted another laughing emoji today around the same time I dropped the video where Julian accused Rory and Mal. Well, he didn't accuse Rory and Mal of firing him because he asked for a raise. He basically said that he believes that's what happened. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you feel like either side is representing themselves well, or do you feel like all of these people are doing a terrible job of handling this? I mean, I don't even know. It's hard to handle podcasts. Most podcasts will break up, man. It's just that easy. It's really a simple explanation. The co-hosts don't even break up sometimes. It's the background characters that leave or maybe felt like they were mistreated, and it's clear to me that Julian feels he was mistreated. So that's how it goes, and we'll see where they go from here. I know Julian handled the conversation on his podcast. Let's see how Julian's views do, because his first one did 74 or 5K, and he also has the controversy from appearing on Joe Budden's stages to help get him to a decent number. This time, I think he'll crack 20K, but maybe he'll go higher than that. And I'm sure Rory and Mal, they won't speak on it, but if Julian starts to speak on it, they will seek to control the narrative. But that's my video for now about the subject. Let me know what you think in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, The Stop TV. Follow me on Twitter, The Stop TV. Subscribe to my Patreon, The Stop. A lot is going on there. And if you really want to see the spaces where Rory and Mal and Julian have been exchanging shots at each other, you need to go there. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.